It's time for the College Hockey Show! And now here's your host, Jeremiah Maxwell, and the degenerate Bostonian, Mike Warino.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the College Hockey Show. I am your host, Jeremiah Maxwell. With me, as always, is Mike Warino, the degenerate Bostonian. Mike, what's up? How are you doing? You're looking clear as day on the phone. How's it going?
Going well. Yeah, guys, I got an old computer. She was pre-COVID, so
He's ready to get put out to pasture, my friend. Okay, as they say. Well, we got all the hockey tournaments this week, right? And I think the Big 12 is starting theirs, so as well. Theirs is a best of 3, though, right?
Big Ten's going to be best of 3 this round as well. Everything else, and the American, I'm sorry, is best of 3. Everything else runs single elimination. So if you guys are seeing, for season ticket holders out there, if you're seeing like, to be determined Sunday games, anything CHN, the USHO, they're not going to post that, but they will post it Saturday night if there's a needed third game. So just keep that in mind when you're looking for your tickets. Yeah. But everything else, single limbs going out, and should be fun.
Yeah, so some exciting news. We should have Mike McMahon next week from the College Hockey News on. Hasn't locked in a time yet, but sounds like next Thursday around this time, so 1 p.m. Eastern, which would be good. And I know I'm competing with, a bunch of other people, but other shows that are on that are much larger than us, but we're just talking specifically college, and Mike will give you some good gambling stuff. So to start off, I wanted to talk about the Hockey East changing the rules about the goal scoring thing after the UMass UConn thing. I think everybody kind of knows that story's pretty old now. You brought up UMass coach Greg Carvel's new contract extension gives him about 40% raise. Carvel will receive an annual base salary of $500,000 a year, according to the contract. That to me feels like underpaid, to be honest with you. I think he's done it. Go ahead.
Specify he's UMass Lowell, not UMass Amherst. So he's with the Riverhawks, not the Minutemen. So mixed on that. I would say I'm with you. He's done a good job. But I spoke to, it sounds dumb. I think it's cool they have a team hairdresser. I spoke to her, and the players are rather mixed on him getting extended. This was supposed to be his last year. And talking to her, talking to them, they're like, they weren't too happy with him. I guess he's pretty negative in the locker room.
They were 13-22. If it's UMass Lowell.
Yep. Guys were celebrating the season being over, losing to Merrimack, according to her. So it was interesting take when she told me that. I was like, I told her about this. She's like, yeah, go for it. Put it on tomorrow. And so here we are. So curious if guys like Delaney, who's their senior captain, who's looking for a 5th year of school, if he goes to the portal looking for a grad year. They got 9 freshmen.
Greg Carvel's the Minuteman coach, my man.
Oh, he is? All right.
Yeah. I was like, no, that's not correct. And we can call him if you want, because his number's up on you.
So I'm getting two stories mixed up, Beard.
Yeah. I was certain he was UMass. And the reason I was certain that he was UMass, and I didn't want to argue with you, but I was like, no, I'm pretty sure Johnny Lazarus has a really good rapport with this guy. And we should have brought Lazarus on. I should have seen if he was available to talk. But yeah, he is the head coach of UMass Minuteman. That's in Springfield, correct? So yeah. So I think he's done an incredible job this year. So the hairdresser should shut the fuck up. I don't know what the fuck.
Well, I mean, there was an open bar last night, so maybe that's why she was talking. It was cool meeting her and a lot of the other Bruins parents up.
I was going to say the UMass Lowell head coach probably does need to be gone. Not a good year for them.
He just got extended, so that's why I'm like, this is nuts.
Yeah, so I'm not seeing anything about Carvel's extension either. So we will call that erroneous reporting on our part. We apologize. All right, let's talk about the Atlantic second round. We got Holy Cross at Bentley. What do you got for that? Are you going to any of these games? What's the thought process?
I'm hoping to do it. Unfortunately, I'm hitting the road for work Friday, Saturday. Not really thrilled about that during playoff season, but I'm hoping to get to Bentley because I will be working in Waltham. It's Bentley's game to lose. 3 out of 4 they won in the regular season against Holy Cross. They're head and shoulders. They've been the best team in the Atlantic.
We think Bentley's going to get the auto bid, right?
I mean, odds makers put them at minus 400 to start this. It's pretty much been chalk. I don't see how Bentley fails. I just don't. Things happen all the time. But it's the Atlantic. There's only one team coming from this conference. Bentley's currently at like 20-something. So like they're your best bet. But I would expect the Falcons to close out at home. They've been very good. Bentley's 28. So I mean that's hasn't been the stiffest competition, but we saw them last year against number 1 BC, and they were a post away from winning that. So we know they got it in them when they need it.
Yeah, Holy Cross is 34, not that far much behind them. Okay, and then we've got Robert Morris and Sacred Heart. Obviously, Sacred Heart a little bit higher, 27, and Robert Morris is what? I think they're running in that middle realm too, are they not? Yeah, they're 48th. So probably Sacred Heart, Bentley comes out on those. Those are the expected. Sacred Heart's not terrible. So, I mean, they actually have a better record than Bentley. They're higher in the NPI than Bentley.
That's impressive.
By one position, they're 27 and Bentley's 28. But I've heard and read Bentley is the expected winner of that division, but you never know. And they play best of 3 in the Atlantic, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So more than likely, the cream is going to rise to the top in that one. Okay. Enough about that. And so we believe the auto bid Bentley will be, or, could be Sacred Heart, one of those two teams. If it's an upset, it's an upset. CCHA tournament, Augustana at St. Thomas. Where are you at with that?
I before this tournament started, I picked, these are my 2 winners. Like either one will win this. I do see this, being a tight series, tight game. I think Augustana is better, despite St. Thomas being the higher seed.
Yeah.
St. Thomas has the better schedule.
Well, Augustana is a higher seed in the NPI. Augustana is 13th right now, and St. Thomas is 16th. So by chance, both these teams get in?
I think both could.
So if Augustana loses in like overtime, which they're 1-2, and St. Thomas is 3-1 in overtime, and St. Thomas wins this CCHA single elimination tournament, do you think both teams are in?
Yes.
Okay. That's probably the best case scenario for the CCHA to get 2 teams in. So,
okay. 2 new teams. Neither have made the big tournament. Like, this is exciting.
Yeah, it's so good to have new fans. I would not be sad. The only bad thing is you might not see a large contingency of fans traveling depending on how far they go. But like, let's see it, Michigan Tech at Minnesota State. Michigan Tech is 19th. And in the NPI, these are all NPI rankings for everybody that's listening at home. We got 15 people, so I'm guessing that's all X because I don't see anybody on. I don't think we'll see Avi for a while. Let me just say that.
Yeah, looks like Mid State's at 17. I mean, we're all familiar with these 2 schools. Historically, they've been the best in recent times in the CCHA. They've made the most appearances. Minnesota State made the national championship game in my hometown of Boston. They were up 1-0, should have won that game, and in 6 minutes let up 5 goals and lost 5-1.
Who did they lose to?
Denver.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
It was, it was really looked like the Mavericks game. Denver scored with 5 minutes to go, and all of a sudden you just saw all the air come out of them. And
yeah. I mean, dude, I was watching a game yesterday, Pittsburgh, Vegas, and Pittsburgh's in it 3-2, and then Vegas just like gets them in the third, and they're just like, well, we don't have Crosby, and you see it at the pro level, and it's like not, it's like, I get it. It's tough. It's really hard for these kids because they don't play that many games, right? So, yeah, crazy, man. Okay, so we still expect St. Thomas or Augustana, but I could see any one of these 4 teams, and they're all right there. If they go to 20, like Mike McMahon says, these guys would be in the tournament regardless. So, and it sounds like what?
I think like if they went to 20, this would be the year like you would see all 4 of these potentially win that play-in game to the second round.
Well,
or win their first round game, I should say.
Yeah, they'd all be in. They'd all legit be in, and Maine.
Yeah, and I think they all win their first round matchup.
Yeah, would be interesting. That seems like a really tough conference, and the NPI gives them a lot of credence for that. Just saying. Okay, let's get to the ECAC. Clarkson at Quinnipiac. I can't see how you like Clarkson here.
The only thing that would scare me as a Bobcat is like Clarkson did beat they beat Michigan State on the road, and that's something you gotta think about.
Where are they ranked? Oh, they're 38th to Quinnipiac's 7th. So having witnessed Quinnipiac win a national championship in person, knowing that coach, knowing how they play defensive playoff style hockey all year, I don't even think Quinnipiac has to win the tournament. Obviously, they're going to be in. But to me, like, there really isn't an ECAC team kind of on the outside looking in that I think can make some damage, right? Like Dartmouth.
I think they're top heavy.
So, yeah, I mean, but look, right now, Quinnipiac, Cornell, and Dartmouth are in right now on the NPI rankings. So they don't need to win their conference tournament. So if Harvard or Union or Princeton or Colgate or Clarkson upset, I just don't think it could. I mean, again, if Quinnipiac gets upset by Clarkson, they're not getting bumped out of the top 13.
No, they'll get a more difficult matchup. But what would be interesting is like the teams that are at 12 and 13 are going to go, is this another auto bid that's going to steal? Right? If Clarkson wins the ECAC, they're in. They get in no matter what.
Clarkson says, Clarkson's are frisky, but beat Penn State, North Dakota, Cornell, and beat Quinnipiac in a shootout this year. Yeah, they could be there. We're just telling you where they're at in the rankings. And look, I think it's Neil, right? Neil, correct me if I'm wrong. And Sims. Hey, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Thanks for checking in too. Appreciate you. Check out Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. What a class guy. Always comes in and says hello. Yeah, I mean, I just don't think Quinnipiac will be out. Clarkson would be in if they win. That would be cool. If they win the tournament. So, but if we go chalk here and we go Quinnipiac beats Clarkson, Colgate beats Dartmouth, Cornell beats Harvard, and Princeton beats Union, because Princeton is, where's Princeton where's Union ahead of Princeton?
Union's at 21.
Union's at 21 and Princeton's at 30. So let's say Union beats Princeton. Princeton started out strong, right? And then they kind of
very strong.
Yeah. And now they're 15, 12, and 3. And Union is 22, 10, and 3. So yeah, Union definitely had a better year. Again, I always like the strict Ivy League schools. They're always playing at a little bit of the disadvantage because, one, it costs so much. They don't do NIL deals for their players and stuff. So they'll always be, but I think you're always going to get good hockey players there too, man. Plenty of guys from Cornell, Princeton, Dartmouth, Harvard that have played in the national, as Kevin Weeks would
Bruins
say.
got three guys on Cornell right now. None of them are getting NIL, and they're going to be suiting up for the P Bruins in a couple of years. So
yeah, Yeah. Do you expect speaking of the Bruins, you expect any like James Higgins if BC doesn't make it? Because I think it's pretty good shot BC's not making it if they don't win Hockey East, which we'll get to Hockey East. We haven't talked about Hockey East. We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah. Okay. So right now, I do like what Neil said. We could see Clarkson do some damage here. I think it would be awesome to see. I love to see the upsets. Would you love to see Clarkson win that conference championship or tournament?
As a fan, I'll say yes. As a wallet, no. I want chalk in the ECAC real bad.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I do always like seeing the upsets happen. It's a better story.
Well, and look, we believe, Mike and I believe, and I think Mike McMahon, I believe there'll be 3 teams minimum from the ECAC unless one of these younger teams like Mr. Sims here said Clarkson, hey, they're scrappy. They could make it. Again, Clarkson's 38th in the NPI. So even with the expanded, if they expanded it the way I wanted in 32 teams and get rid of the auto bids, because to me, I don't think you need to have conference champions. I mean, I would add a week of games and get rid of the conference championships, in my opinion. And it sounds like they want to add games anyway, based on what I've been hearing, that a lot of coaches want to add games. So, anyway, I think too, though, the big key is you don't want these conference championships going on when people are on spring break, right?
Yeah.
It's all that's happening right now. So
I'll say this. I was at Wednesday, Merrimack versus Lowell. I'm sitting there like, where are the students? And one of the parents turned around and said they're all on spring break. So I see, half of an arena empty, 3/4 of the band's missing. Like, there's no atmosphere here. And it stinks. I'll say that.
I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, you can't have games over spring break. So, like, it makes no sense. Start a week early. I understand you're going to have games over the holiday break and stuff like that. To me, the holiday break, like a lot of kids go to school in the area, like whatever. But spring break, it's a get out of the Northeast, whatever, wherever you're at. Okay, NCHC tournament. Let's talk about the NCHC. We got UMD and North Dakota. Those 2 teams are in the tournament without question. North Dakota is 2 now, and UMD is 8. Both those teams are making it. In fact, North Dakota's got the asterisks. There's no way they could, if they lose to UMD. In fact, if I'm them and if they have health issues, I'm not playing anybody that's remotely banged up. Like, they don't need to win this tournament. It doesn't affect them at all. They're going to be a high seed. I'm sure you feel the same way. And then Western, the defending national championship at Denver against the team that won it the year before. So, I mean, these all 4 of these teams are in the tournament.
I'll say this round means a lot for travel purposes.
Yeah.
Do you want to play in Loveland? Do you want to play in Sioux Falls? Do you want to be a 3 seed and now you're going to go to, Albany?
Is Loveland, Texas?
Denver, like not Loveland. Denver's got a bracket. I forget the city. I thought it was.
It could be Loveland. It could be Loveland.
Loveland or it's an hour from Denver's campus. I remember that.
So Denver wants to play in that.
Yeah, but like if right now you're not going to get that, North Dakota would, or you're the lower seed. So like that's what I mean. It means a lot for travel, but you're right. They're in the tournament.
Yeah. I think all 4 of those teams easily are in the tournament.
Yeah, you're just fighting for seeds.
Literally did not need to pay any attention to that one. And I wouldn't bet any of those games either, because all those teams, who's going to be who knows? Okay, let's get to the Big Ten tournament. Now, this is a best of 3, correct?
This round. Yep.
Right. And then okay, so Penn State at Michigan. Michigan can lose this, doesn't hurt them at all. Penn State, really, they're in. I don't think they're not going to improve their standing in the NPI that much. That's going to be
last
great.
Round. I was afraid for Penn State. Like that was the one. Like if you lose to Minnesota and there's some drama with these other tournaments, you'd have a problem. But I think they're in at 10.
We've been given BU, which is 20. They're 25th. Boy, Minnesota with all their resources, they're behind University of Alaska Fairbanks. They are behind. Here's the teams that are behind, that are ahead of Minnesota. Minnesota Golden Gophers, like really one of the gold standards of college hockey, right? I mean, I don't know how the coach keeps his job. So where are they? I mean, they have to win this turn. Oh, they can't win. They're out.
They can't. They're out. Penn State knocked them out. But that's what I mean. Like last week, had Penn State lost, it was hairy for the Lions, and now I think they're in. They're sitting at 87%.
39th in the NPI.
39.
Clarkson, Lindenwood, Air Force, University of Alaska Fairbanks, Holy Cross, Miami of Ohio, Colorado College, Harvard, Princeton. You start getting into good schools: St. Cloud, Bentley, Sacred Heart, Merrimack, BU, Northeastern, Bowling Green. I mean, but look, BU, awful year. They're not going to have that year again. We won't see a year like that from BU in a while. I think there's going to be some transfers and some changes there. Obviously, they had some chemistry issues, right? Maybe some players playing for themselves, and they added players at the middle of the year, like Tynan Lawrence. I hope that kid goes back too. Like, he needs to go back. I mean, he's going to get drafted, but he needs to stay at BU for another year. Okay, we're not at Hockey East yet. I'm jumping the gun. Ohio State at Michigan State. Now, Ohio State, they could still make the tournament, but they have to win this conference.
The next 4 games mean the absolute world to Buckeye Nation. You got to beat Michigan State.
They're playing Michigan State.
You got to beat the winner.
They're not.
Whoever the next one is. Have to win, no choice. Their top 6 forwards have the talent to do so. The rest of that team does not. But,
Ohio State has had some quality wins this year, man. You gotta give them some credit. I mean, they're 13-20, but they play in arguably the toughest. I think it's safe to say the Big Ten was the most dominant conference in all of the NCAA Division I hockey this year. I mean, to have, Michigan and Michigan State and, in the top 3, and then Penn State's top 10. So pretty good.
I think isn't half of the top 12 either the Big Ten or the NCAA?
Yeah, Wisconsin. Yeah. You have Michigan, North Dakota, Michigan State, Western Michigan, Providence, Denver, Quinnipiac, Minnesota, Duluth, Cornell, Penn State, Dartmouth, Wisconsin is your top 12. And we believe Augustana will be in at 13, and maybe UMass, depending. Okay. Yeah, we can just jump right into your bets. Oh, no, we can't jump into your bets. I'm sorry. Let's talk about Hockey East. BU at UConn. Secretly, I'm rooting for BU to lose. I want UConn to win. One, because I liked how far UConn made it last year. I thought it was good. They have a huge alumni. I think it's good to have them there. BU, obviously, but BU is in the Frozen Four every year. I've been to the Frozen Four. So it's not going to kill them to not have one, and I believe that Jay, I have a lot of respect for that guy. We talked to him last year at their hotel. We got lucky to talk to him. I would say, I really want BU to lose this, and it's for personal reasons, because I want Cole Hudson on the Capitals sooner than later. So,
I'm with you there. I'll say this as a Bruins fan. BC's playing Maine. Where there's talks like Hagens is going to come, Gasso is going to come. There's talks Letourneau will have a 3rd year.
Yeah, Letourneau needs to come back to BC. He made such strides between his freshman and sophomore year. I want to see that kid play juniors. I think he could be up for the Hobie Baker next year and be one of the best players in the entire thing. And it would be amazing considering the freshman year he had. And that to me shows you, hey, and he's a Canadian kid, right? He's a monster.
Yeah, Montreal.
Yeah, what a monster that kid is. So excited for him, and really hope he comes back. I do not think BC will be in the tournament. So
no. Unless they got to run the table.
Yeah, Northeastern at UMass. UMass has climbed 24 spots in the NPI. Again, Greg Carville, great job there. Shout out. Since Harabel returned, helps to have your starting goalie back. And then Merrimack at Providence. Merrimack definitely one of those teams on the outside looking in. If they were to win the Hockey East, they'd definitely be in. That'd be great too. I will
say that's a big rivalry game because that coaching staff, half of Providence, now it's been 8 years, is still at Merrimack.
Yeah. I just think Providence is the creme de la creme of the Hockey East this year. I've gotten to watch some of their games. They just look really good.
If they make the Frozen Four, they'll be the first team ever to be in the Frozen Four with 0 suited up seniors. They have one on roster, and he's got a torn ACL. Svedback, the starting goalie. So.
Probably the end of his professional career, honestly. Okay. Do you want to get into your bets?
Sure. I mean, guys, I think I stated it earlier. As a fan, I would love to see like a team like Clarkson get into the national tournament. I love watching them play. They're very physical. The kid's got a ton of heart. But my bets are indeed the ECAC chalk line. It's just the way it is. I'm taking all the favorites there. Those 3 teams, they're fighting for seeds.
Okay.
The way it lines up bracket-wise right now, Cornell is playing Penn State. I can assure you, Quinnipiac's playing Penn State. If it ended today, that's how the seeding falls.
Yeah.
And I can assure you, Quinnipiac does not want to play Penn State round 1. So, I do think they're going to beat Clarkson.
You think Penn State wants to play Quinnipiac, though? I don't know.
I don't think Penn State wants to play Quinnipiac.
Yeah, I mean, here's why I'll say this, and this is what I'll say. I just remember that Minnesota team that Quinnipiac beat and how talented they were. Faber, Nyes, Fowler, right? I mean,
Snuggerud, he's on St. Louis now. He was a freshman.
Snuggerud. Yeah, Snuggerud came back and played. So
he was a third liner, that Minnesota team.
Yeah. I mean, he's amazing this year, too. He's having a good year. There's so many good rookies in the NHL. That's why I said everybody's like so worried about Crosby and Ovechkin. Let those guys sail off into the sunset. They've done what they could do. Now it's the Connor Bedards and Macklin Celebrinis and Jimmy Snuggeruds and Cole Hudson, Lane Hudson, all these kids. I mean, the league is in good hands, man. Like there's going to be a ton. The Hughes brothers and the Kachucks and stuff. Those guys are going to be in the league another 10 years. So, these young kids. Excuse me, I apologize. Yeah. So you have chalk on the ECAC, so I'm excusing Quinnipiac over Clarkson, Dartmouth over Colgate, Cornell over Harvard, and Union losing to...
I'm not touching the Union-Princeton game. I'm letting that one be. But I got the other 3.
Union is ahead of Princeton.
Union and NPI, but Princeton's ahead in EC. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even bothering with this game. I'm walking away. It's a 4v5 game. Let those kids have fun. As a gambler, I'm not touching it. But I put a parlay together, Quinnipiac, Dartmouth, and Cornell. But it's plus 120. So those 3 are massive favorites when you put 3 teams together and it's all barely over, plus money. And I agree with it. It should be barely over. I threw 2 units on it because I'm pretty confident with it. Again, I talked about seeding wise, Quinnipiac does not want to play Penn State right now. They need another win. Dartmouth, Cornell, I don't think they want to travel as much. Cornell in.
Sorry, let me cut you off there before we moved it to you. So you said Quinnipiac doesn't want to pay Penn State. Now, if Quinnipiac wins that conference, do they potentially move up into the top 5 of the NPI? Is that what you think? Okay.
Yeah.
Where they're at now. And for those you don't know, Quinnipiac's 7th right now. They're in regardless. So, but we're feeling like they got to win that ECAC tournament.
Right now, Cornell is a few percentage points away from playing in the Albany bracket. That's a home game for Cornell, basically.
Right.
So they need to win a game or 2. So again, that, I just looked at teams where are my teams that have an incentive to win?
Mm-hmm.
And so I saw the ECAC, I'm all 3 of these teams need to win another game or 2 just to get the small, tiny percentage points to climb up one more spot in the MPI. I think would do them all wonders matchup wise to climb one spot, especially for travel, etc. I'm like, that's an incentive to win.
Yeah.
Also, they're playing really bad teams, and they're all Quinnipiac at 7, probably good. Dartmouth and Cornell, correct me if I'm wrong, I thought they were a little higher. Yeah, Dartmouth's at 11.
Yep. Dartmouth's
so in.
And Cornell's at 9 in the NPI. So I think both those are in. Yeah, I think both those are in. Because
I think a Dartmouth loss, I think it makes it interesting when the auto bids start to come to play.
Yeah.
I think 13 is the magic number. And I think a Colgate defeat really makes it iffy for the Big Green. I do.
Where's Colgate ranked in the NPI? They got to be top 25, right?
46.
Okay, yeah. And they're 13, 18, and 4. So that would be kind of a bad loss for
that's what I mean. That loss could knock you out 2 spots.
Dartmouth's a good team, though, right?
They are a good team. Yeah, that was the team I won today.
Shout out my friend from high school, Christina, who went to Dartmouth. Good for her. Good school. All right.
Shout out Joe Minicello, doctor graduate from Dartmouth, who's performed some surgery on me.
Hey, Brown, Ivy League school. When are they good? I don't understand. Why aren't they any good?
What was the school?
Brown. Why aren't they any good ever?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, interesting.
I know. Like, I look at the ECAC. Like, we got all the Ivy Leagues in there. Clarkson, St. Lawrence, and Quinnipiac all participate in the NILs, where the rest of them don't. So it gives them an advantage.
And I think in 10 years they're going to have to figure that out, because it's going to be a total game changer.
I mean, it's clearly Quinnipiac's always been great, but I mean, it's really working to their advantage now.
That's not even that old a school, is it?
No.
Yeah, it's kind of a newer college, right?
Newer D1. They've been D3 forever.
Yeah, but how long have they been in existence?
I feel like they've been around for a while. The Google button.
What we need is the brackets. So as soon as we get that, we will have that up for you guys. Mike, did you have anything else you wanted to talk about? I'm sure you got to get going. I've got to do some stuff today.
I will say this, guys. It's my favorite time of the year. Lots of drama. I think March Madness definitely extends into hockey. And I think honestly, all college sports, it's always exciting when it when this time hits. I will be at as many games as humanly possible, as you guys know. Come find me. I for sure will be in Worcester and Albany. I will be at the MGM Springfield for Friday night, Saturday night. In between those, they're doing a college hockey special, so find me in the sports book. I'll be down there on the first floor. So please come check me out. I will even wear North Dakota gear, because that will most likely be the only person rocking a giant green jersey. I really want to stand out for the guys to find me. So please find me out there. Give me a tap. I'll buy you a beer. I want to thank also Coach Mike and Brian for always tuning in, guys. I appreciate you guys very much.
Yeah, we had 22 people watching on X today, so thank you so much. I think we had one person in YouTube, or a couple people in YouTube. It's people that didn't chime in. I didn't see. Okay, so I wish the NCAA website would do the bracket, like where the regional games are and stuff. So I don't understand. And we should be paying a little bit of attention to the women's game too. Talk a little bit of women. Can you get lines on the women's game?
Yeah, I can.
So last year's team was Wisconsin that won, and that was a great game, I think.
28 seconds left. They tied it up
with the penalty shot awarded. And
Mike, and I remember watching that. I'm going like, "What are you doing? That's after the age of 10. You know better than to do that."
Well, I don't know how the coach was even upset. You could clearly see that the Ohio State coach lost her mind. But if you put your hand on the puck in the crease, it's going to be a penalty.
And it wasn't like it was a quick tap; it was a hold. Like you could.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good play. Honestly, it probably gets knocked in anyway. So
Yeah.
I understand why they did it, but yeah, that was some nastiness. Um, yeah, I think we got that. I think I can play that for you. Let's see. And then we'll
So you were right, Beard. So Connecticut College started in 1929, but Quinnipiac came in 1966. It branched off.
yeah, I mean that.
Go farther in the all-new Jeep
Yeah, it's
Cherokee
been around longer than
over
my
500
mom.
miles
So.
of range with no plug needed.
Sorry.
Billy.
So you can get all the way to the river. And back again.
Sorry about that. Here we go. This is the national championship. Wisconsin down 3-2.
O'Brien. Dabbing away. In front of the net.
Edwards thought it was in.
He did. There's a stick still behind Thiele.
I think they're taking a look at. I don't know if this may be the glove that was in the. Yeah, did it cross the line?
Let's go. What's up?
Did it cross the line or? If she's covering the puck in the crease, then it would
Yep,
be a
right
penalty
there,
shot. So
clear
that's what they're
as day.
looking at right now, right there.
Yeah.
Did she cover it? Which it looks like she did right there.
But you can use your hand to move it. You just can't grip it with your palm.
And cover it, right? So the question is, did she sweep it under her body?
This
It
is what
looks
we're
like the
talking
puck
about.
moved
This
the
is
whole
less than
time.
30
This is a
seconds, so
tough
we can
call
show
because
this.
it does look like she puts her hand.
Okay, maybe this is.
Weapons. They have a lot of people that can score.
There's Mark Johnson. Oh,
Moving in on Thiele to try to tie the championship game. Oh, what a move! He does!
so we haven't talked any women's college hockey, and I think after the Olympics, we probably should look at where the I don't know. Have you been paying attention at where the women's
Not
stuff is-
enough. I'd say not enough to really give good insight on it.
Yeah.
I watch it when I can. I'm excited. I'm going to my first Fleet game. I finally am going to get to a Fleet game. It's the 17th time I've bought in tickets, but it's going to be the first time, knock on wood, that I can make it coming up next Saturday. So we'll see.
Yeah, they have rankings too. I think they use the same sort of rankings. So Ohio State is number 1 again. Wisconsin is 2. They play in the WCHA. That's the old what Alaska used to play in.
Yeah.
Penn State is 3. Minnesota is 4. Northeastern is 5. UConn is 6. Quinnipiac is 7. Yale is 8. Princeton is 9. And to round off the 10 is Minnesota Duluth. So 4 WCHA teams, 3 ECAC, 2 Hockey East, and an AHA, because I guess there is no Big Ten for women's college hockey. The Penn State plays in the AHA. So
and they're already down to their round of 8. We should add they're already in their tournament.
They're in their tournament. Oh my God,
they're already in the round of 8.
Yeah. So right now, this weekend we'll have Ohio State playing Yale. Boy, I wish it would tell us where the game is. You have Minnesota number 4 playing Northeastern 5. You have Penn State playing UConn. You have Wisconsin, the defending national championships, playing Quinnipiac. So, and the Frozen 4 is in University Park, Pennsylvania. So there you go. The Frozen 4 will be the 20th of March. So we're coming up on that. So, yeah, maybe we get some good betting lines for those games.
So I will say this to anyone who sees it, because last year was at the Whittemore, University of New Hampshire. I'm there all the time. If the tickets are $150 again to go to the Whit, or in this case, University Park, you're going to struggle with attendance again. I'm going to say that. Cannot be asking $150.
Yeah, I'll say this, Mike. I wonder largely if because the women's winning the gold. A lot of these women play on rivalry teams and are still in this tournament. I wonder if it's not a much bigger fan.
I didn't think of that. I do hope it's a bigger draw. But I remember that was a big complaint. And I remember that's why I didn't go, because I'm like, oh, day of. Yeah, I can get there in 4 hours. Plenty of time. It's an hour drive.
How far is University Park, Pennsylvania from you? I don't even know where that is.
7 hours, 18 minutes.
Where is that?
Penn State.
Okay.
Happy Valley.
I thought so. And they're kind of out in the middle of nowhere too, right?
From my, it's bad. We're cooking up a road trip next year. So from my front door to that rink's front door, it's 7 hours and 18 minutes without traffic.
Yeah. Without traffic, which there will be. Okay. All right. Well, hey, this was a long show, 40 minutes. I appreciate everybody coming. I know we normally don't do, but next week it looks like we're going to be doing that too. We will have Mike McMahon, it looks like. I told Mike I'd work with his schedule. So, okay, he said if 1 p.m. Thursday is better, I have something at 2, but as long as that works for you, we won't keep it more than 30 minutes. So I think we can do
Thursday?
1. What?
So 1 p.m. Thursday?
Yeah, 1 p.m. Thursday Eastern. Yep. Good. Is that good for you? Is that
Lock
good?
It. I'm in.
All right. We need you. We need you, brother. You have to be there. You have to be there. I am only the facilitator. This is Mike's show. Mike runs the show. Reiterate your bets. Mike will put them out on Twitter and on TikTok. I'm sorry we didn't get TikTok today. It was like almost a gig update. I was not going to do it while we were trying to stream. Mike, you came in clear. You came in soundly. It looks really good. I think the phone is the future. Your poor laptop is crapped out. I mean, since I started streaming, I've already had a laptop change. So I started streaming in 2021, and now I have a MacBook that's, I mean, I don't even know this is pretty recent Pro. It's a M4 Pro. So with 24 gigs of memory. So and I don't do anything else but run the show on this. My gaming PC is what I use TikTok on. I use that separate thing. So, just inside stuff, but just to let you know, like, it does take a lot of processing power sometimes to do some of this stuff from behind the scenes. So like for you only have to like this. And so you could use an iPad,
Yeah.
It's
a good excuse to get up to finally pull the trigger and upgrade the machine.
Yeah. I mean, and you don't have to spend laptop money to get a decent iPad, and you can get a keyboard for it. So, and you can hook a webcam up if you want, or you can just use the internal cam. Most of the web internal cams are good. So, all right, my man, I'm going to let you go and say goodbye to everybody. And we'll see you next Thursday at 1 p.m. with Mike McMahon from the College Hockey News. And then before you know, we're going to know the picture probably really will be very clear, I think, by then, right?
Conference tournament, conference semifinals, championship games are Thursday, Friday, Saturday next week.
Yeah. So we're gonna have a really good idea who's probably in, and maybe if we have some Cinderellas per se, as they say, Diamond Dandies. Appreciate everybody. Have a good one. Mike.
Good, guys.
See you next Thursday, brother. 1 p.m.
Let's go.
Yeah, maybe we do 1 p.m. from now.
Right.
Might be